If you've got $20,000 and you want the best handling car on the road, then look no further than the DF Goblin Kit car. Now, if you're not familiar with what a DF Goblin is, it's basically an aerial atom that you build yourself. For $20,000, you can buy a Chevy Cobalt, buy the kit from DF, and then build your own aerial atom. And this one is mine. Now, I get a lot of questions about this car, how much it cost me to build, how long it took me to build, and pretty much anything in between. And so today I wanted to answer a couple of those questions. That question being is what it's like to drive. Now, a lot of people, they look at this thing and they immediately think this has got to be one of the most absurd driving experiences that you could possibly experience. And they're not wrong, it is. And out of all the cars that I've driven, out of all the cars that I own, this is probably one of the more fun ones to drive just because of how it handles. Now, it is a supercharged 4-cylinder, so that does add some wow factor to it. You get a very peppy throttle response, and you do get about 300 horsepower out of that supercharged 4-cylinder, and in a frame that only weighs 1,500 pounds, you can imagine what that acceleration and driving experience feels like. But today, instead of just imagining it, I want to try to show you best I can of what it's like to drive this car. So let's go ahead and hop in and go for a drive. Now, the driving experience is really hard to describe, but with an open wheel, open cockpit car, you feel everything in front of you. You see the tires, so you know exactly where you can corner. You don't think you're gonna hit a curb. You just know exactly how close you can get to the curb because you can see your wheel right there, and it's a really cool experience. Along with that, with the engine being behind you rather than in front of you, you have a very short nose, so it's very easy to see everything that's in front of you. You have a great wide field of view, seeing everything from your left, right, and center, and you kind of need it in this car because it being a small cage car, it can be very daunting with these bigger trucks and cars on the road. Half the time they don't see you, so it's better that you can see them. On the other hand, however, when people do see you, they see you. They will stare at this car for as long as they physically can because it's something that they have never seen on the road before, and it's kind of a cool experience. However, I don't see them half the time, apparently. A lot of my friends, they'll be riding next to me or they'll be in the passenger seat and they'll be like, oh my gosh, everybody's looking at you. I don't see it. Typically, I've got a helmet on and I'm focused on driving, so I typically don't see when people are waving at me or going crazy over the car. It's kind of a funny experience. Everybody says that I get a bunch of looks, but in my experience, I haven't seen many of the looks. Along with that, you're probably wondering why I do wear a helmet when I ride in this thing. Technically, legally, I'm not obligated to wear a helmet. I don't need to wear a helmet. It's not a motorcycle. This is registered as a car. And so I don't need to wear a helmet. However, with it being an open cockpit car, there are a lot of noises, and not just like exhaust noise. That's actually not the worst. Whenever you're going above, I want to say like 40 miles an hour, maybe even 50 miles an hour, the wind noise is unbearable. It is beating the side of your face, it is beating your ear, and it is a rough experience without a helmet or earplugs or something to help block out that noise. Along with that, if you are going down like a highway, taking this thing on the highway multiple times, and I'll go next to like a truck or something, it is a very loud noise coming from the tires. Another just unpleasant experience if you are riding without a helmet. While yeah, the helmet does add a little bit of safety, I mainly just wear it just to keep the noise out of my ears. Now I want to talk about specifically what it's like to drive this thing, not just ride around in it, but to drive it. Like you're purposefully driving it, whether it's on autocross or just on a back road or wherever. It is an insane experience. I cannot describe how fun it is that this thing hooks through corners. You can kick the back end out and it will just correct itself for you because of all that weight over the rear axle. I was actually pleasantly surprised with how well engineered this car is. It is designed and built by guys in their garage in North Texas. And I'm honestly shocked at how well engineered the suspension is on this, how well engineered the balance is on it. I was thinking that this thing was just gonna spin around on me. No, it is so controllable. It is one of the most controllable cars. I feel super confident with this thing when I drive. I did do a couple of upgrades. I went with the upgraded suspension on this car. I don't have a sway bar on it. The upgraded suspension I think goes a long way with my driver confidence in this car, and I think it's definitely worth it if you're looking at building one of these. I also added a very big rear wing from 9 Lives Racing. Now the reason why I added the wing to the car is because on the highway, it actually kind of helps stabilize the car. This car can get really like pushed around by the wind, especially with no body panels. Even with body panels, however, you do want some sort of stabilization just because wind will force itself around the frame and it does kind of get a little unstable at high speeds without a wing. If you're going to be taking it on the highway a lot, I'd highly suggest putting the front hood on it for sure, putting the side panels on it, and adding a rear wing, and it's going to make the driver experience much better. Now, I don't have the side panels. The downside of that is wind goes directly around the hood, straight up my pant leg, into places that wind should not be going, and it is very cold. Don't ask me what that experience is like because it's very unpleasant. I'll just say that. So if you're gonna be going on the highway a lot with this car, which you probably will more than you think you will, get the side panels, add them. It's worth it. They're like, I wanna say they're like 300 bucks from the kit car company, and it's 100% worth it. Now, there are some downsides to owning a car that you build yourself in your garage. It's based on a car that's 15 to 20 years old, you're gonna have some problems. But for a car that you build yourself, it is 100% one of the better ones because of how well it handles, how easy it was to build, all things considered, and the price point coming in right around $20,000 for this thing. You literally cannot beat this car. It is so much fun to drive. The acceleration on it, the handling on it, it's one of my favorite cars to drive. And the sound of the supercharger is unlike anything you will ever experience. Again, right behind your head, screaming as you hit the throttle. It is one of the most fun experiences. Like, I'm literally smiling just thinking about it. Now, if you are gonna build one of these things yourself or buy one, you can buy them pre-built if you find someone that's selling them. And I've seen actually a lot for sale secondhand recently with the new kit coming out. I definitely say it's worth it right around the $15,000 to $20,000 point. If you get one with all the upgrades like mine with a supercharged engine, you're probably looking at more like 25 to 30, depending on how crazy and how well done the build is. But for $25,000 to $30,000, you're gonna be beating anything else in that price point, whether it's a Honda S2000, whether it's a Subaru BRZ, whether it's a Nissan Z, whether it's pretty much, literally, you name it, anything else in that $20,000 to $30,000 price point, you're beating it around the corners, and most of the time you're gonna be beating it in a straight line, especially with the supercharger or a turbo. The downside, however, is you do lose the creature comforts that you're gonna get with another car, but that's not why you buy this thing. You buy this thing because it is fast, it is an absolute monster in the corners, and nothing else looks like this on the road. Overall, my ownership experience has been very positive with this car, and if you get a chance to ride in one, it is 100% worth it. If you get a chance to drive one, it's even better. It genuinely is such a fun car to drive. Now, I want to make more videos with mine. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure what people want to see about the car, so if you have any questions, if you want me to do anything with the car, let me know. I have some things planned, like autocross. I have some track days. Hopefully I can get it out to a track day if I can get it track certified, along with just some other fun videos like this. So if you guys do want to see more of this car, be sure to subscribe, leave a comment on what you guys want me to talk about with this car, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.